Hi, hello everyone. So in this lesson we are going to learn room database. So I'm going to teach you in a very simple way, stick to content, and let's get started. So what is this room library? So room is just a library. It is going to help us to communicate with the built-in database, that is SQLite database. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn. In this lesson we are going to save some data to SQLite database using room library, and then we will try to retrieve the data what we saved in the SQLite database using the room library. Okay, so let's get started. So what is basically a database? Database is a place where we can save and retrieve our data. That is what basically a database means. In general, if I ask you what all the databases you know, so you might answer saying the famous databases like SQL, MySQL, MS Access, and even cloud databases. Many answers you will give. So these are all external databases. Okay. For example, if you take SQL server, you will be installing that SQL server into your system, okay, because it's an external database. But in Android, we have a built-in predefined lightweight database available. You no need to install it, you can simply start using it just by creating object to it. Okay, so in Android we have a predefined built-in lightweight database available, that is called SQLite database. It is used to store large amount of data offline. Okay, so it saves, so how the data will be saved in SQLite database is in a file format. That file will be having the extension .db. Okay, yeah, as I told you again, you no need to install it. It's a built-in that comes with every Android device, every Android OS. Okay, so coming to room is a library. Okay, it's a library that is going to help you to efficiently communicate with the SQL database in a fastest way. Okay, fastest and easiest way possible. Okay, so as it is an external library, we need to add dependencies to the build.gradle file. So coming one more time, so room is a library that is going to help you to communicate with the built-in database. So in Android we have a predefined built-in database available, that is called SQLite database, and for you can use this SQLite database for saving large amount of data offline. Okay, so the extension of this file db file is .db, and it will be saving the data as a file only. Okay, fine. So these are the dependencies. You need to add a plugin Kotlin KAPT, and you need to add these dependencies to work with the room database. For example, let me show you where you need to add those dependencies. So don't worry
It's
about
12
anything.
o'clock.
Let us go directly to this dependency section. So first we need to add this plugin, okay, at the top, and then you need to add these dependencies. Okay, so once we add these dependencies, don't forget to sync your project, and the things related to room database will be added to your project. Okay, so now let us understand the concept of room database, because our style is first understanding the concept. When you understand the concept, coding is going to be too much easy. Okay, so there are three concepts there in room database. One is entity, DAO, and database. So when we come to entity, in entity everything we talk about table. Okay, we create one data class is an object class, custom class, whatever you call it. So we create one data class, and we put some annotation called at entity. That at entity is coming from your dependency only. Okay, so we add one annotation at entity, and we create one database class, and this class name is going to be your table name. Inside this entity class, everything is going to be talking about only table. So this is the place where we give the table name and the columns, what are the columns it is having, and what are the data types of those columns. Okay, so entity is going to be talking everything about the table name, what are the columns, what are the data types. That's it, nothing much. Okay, and it will have the annotation called at entity. And then we have this interface. We create an interface. Okay, it will have the annotation dot at DAO at the top. So this is also coming from dependency, room dependency. And what is the use of this data access object is? So this is the place where we give all the queries. So what are the queries? Insert, update, even query, everything will be added here inside this interface, so that you can call this from anywhere in your main activity. So we will see the examples, then you will understand. That's it. So all the queries that you put it inside this DAO, okay, data access object. So nothing much. And database, of course, we create one data class called database with annotation at database. So this is the place where we give database name and database number, version number, and this is the place where we connect entity class and div, because whatever we created we give it here inside this entity class. Inside this database we add the entity classes and then DAO interface inside this database class. That's it, nothing much. Okay, you don't need to go much deeper, but this is it. This is the main concept. If you understand this, you are good with the room. Okay, so let us see one code example. As of now, I have a code example. So this is my Android Studio, and first of all let me run and show you the output, then I will explain the code. Okay, while it is building, let me explain the code. So whenever you want to do this room database, so first thing you need to add is go to this module app and then add the dependencies, and then this plugin. Okay, it is launching on the device. Let's go ahead and see. So in this particular example, I am saving temples. Okay, so we get different temples from the user, temple name, temple location, who is the main god, and I'm using this ID for updating the temple, but don't worry about it right now. For example, temple name Tirupati, location is also like, let me set something like Tirumala, main god Perumal. Okay, so when I click add, it is added to database, and also I am displaying it at the bottom. Okay, as well as you can even see it in this app inspection. So this is the place where you can see the data which is there inside your table. So first let us understand the flow of how the data is getting saved. So this is my UI. Actually, before going to here, let's go reverse. So this is your temple class, as I told you about. It is having at entity. This at entity is coming from this dependency, room dependency, and then this is my table name, class name, and I told you class name and table name is going to be same. This is my table name. It is having at entity, and this is a data class, and these are the columns I have, and these are the data types of the column. Nothing much. Okay, don't worry about it. This is it. Okay, and then DAO. So as I told you, this is the place we are going to have all the queries: delete, query, update, get all temples. So everything will be added inside this DAO only. As you can see here, it is a interface and it is having annotation at the DAO. And finally we have this database class. It is having at database annotation, and then this is the place we are connecting, right? We have given this temple what we created entity, the version is 1, and this is the place we have given the DAO whatever we created. Okay, that's it. And from the main activity, simply I'm going to call these guys. That's it, nothing much. So my UI is From the main activity, I am simply calling, I am creating the instance of DB by using room dot database builder. So it's a the company, what is it? It's a syntax to create this DB variable. Okay, so this is how you can create room database instance. For example, room is a predefined one that is coming from the library dependency room.database builder. You have to pass the database class that you created. Okay, so it is having 1 2 3 variables, 3 parameters. Okay, 3 parameters it is having. First is your context means current class, and then your database class, and finally your database name. So when we create this instance, so when we run this line, the database is created, table is created, everything is setup is ready, and then we are calling this simple temple data composable function. Inside this we are creating the scope for coroutine to make this process happen in the background, and then I am creating different variables, and then we have 3 text field to get the data from user. So this is for updating, so forget about, don't worry about that. So this is our button to save, but let's see what happened when I save. Actually what will happen, we get all the data, we create the temple object class, object variable. I know we get all the names and put it inside our temple object. We create a object, right, temple module, and that we send it to the db.dao. Where is the place insert? Simply we are going to call this insert new temple. So when I open this button and click, as I told you, temple, whatever you say entering, and then we are creating this one. Finally scope.launch. This process is going to happen in the background. db.dao.insert temple, that's it. So it will be saved, that's it, nothing much. Okay, so this is the flow of saved data.